When you look out the window, you'll see the Twin Towers. They're eating the jets.
I want to move on.
Okay, I'm probably going to make a speech.
48 minutes of dogs barking. 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 Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking. 48 minutes of dogs barking.
It has indeed. So
last time I saw you,
I was gonna say, yeah,
one of the weirdest shows I've attended in a while.
that's true.
I've never seen so many people get hurt. At
Yeah,
a
that
hardcore
was
show.
weird. Yeah,
Like I'm used to like getting bumps and scrapes, bruises, whatever. Maybe some camera equipment that doesn't work the same way.
Oh no.
It did when I walked in. Yet I walked away pretty much unscathed, but watched other people just get mercilessly like crowd killed.
Oh my God,
at
yeah.
this show, and it was like really weird to walk away and be like, I was more terrified. I was like legitimately scared for my life at Matt and Kim show in 2009, which is music that is sold to like, it's what they sell Mini Coopers with.
Right.
Yeah,
or
that
Gap.
was scary. That was like legit crowd crushing. Couldn't move my lower body, getting pinned to the stage. Matt and Kim's like tour manager and like roadies having to pull people out. And its song is like, "What if Tuesday was the best day to love you?" Just like
Yeah.
What if my hair smelled really good and we went outside in the neighborhood and fell in love? Like it's just like it could be any more like sugary.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is how people get crippled.
'Cause we'll tell you what show we were at. We'll kind of tease that for now. But in the meantime,
Donkey Show.
Yeah.
People are this dudes in Hanes crew neck sweaters and soccer shorts, just crowd killing at a Donkey Show. Hey man, we paid for this.
Yeah, we earned this. Welcome to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking. My name is Jason. This is Brian. Did you miss us? We're back.
Back, we did. The inconvenience of my life.
That's all right, baby. We got it. It's all
We're back
good.
in the cell. We're here to talk about the internet.
We are. Oh my God.
So we missed so much. I don't even know, like,
Well,
MyPillow, $14.88. Woo, we're starting out hot.
Yeah.
We must secure a future for our layer. We must secure a future for our pleasant necks.
Something like that. I thought it was fake. I thought it was the JD Vance couch fucking, but no. I went on his website, mypillow.com, and independently verified. This is my screenshot from this morning. Save up to $60 with the promo code. It's the Classic Collection, as low as $14.88 with the promo code.
Listen, these prices, we gotta be smoking crack.
At these prices, we can't afford not to be Nazis. So the Daily Beast has a great breakdown of this. Liam Arachne says, Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow and a vocal supporter of former President Donald Trump, says he was unaware of the neo-Nazi symbolism in selling his pillows.
I had no idea. Who are these National Socialists? Well, I don't like socialists, so...
So, yes, according to the ADL, 14 is the 14 words. 88, H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, stands for Heil Hitler, etc. Lindell, on a conservative talk show Flashpoint, said he was unaware of the symbol and the price was not a white supremacist dog whistle. I get a call from all the media around the country and the world, all the way to the Daily Mail, saying, "What are you, a Nazi?" He said. I'm going, who comes up with this stuff? And suggested the price mirrors a common discounting strategy used by Walmart. I have gone to a Walmart and seen $14.88 on a thing at the Walmart. So, I mean, it makes,
right.
It tracks. .88, my in-laws would always tell me, that's how you know something's on clearance. at a Sam's or at a Walmart. So that was
Sure, but
14.
I would go with $14.89 or $8. I would just fidget with the price a little bit.
Bake in some plausible deniability. Give yourself some room here.
The pillow's so good you'll sleep through a genocide.
Yeah. Ew. Yeah, Mike Lindell is such a weird character to begin with. Yeah, he's got all this stuff. Like, he was
a cyber symposium.
Oh, I sat there and I watched the whole fucking thing. I am a pig for this sort of shit.
You were in the slop.
I mean,
this was for you.
It really was. And not only that, but then I like downloaded a video on demand of it to like go over it later.
So you like paid for it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you didn't pay for it.
Why in the hell would I pay?
I don't know,
because
you're hard up for this. It's a special type of hog slop.
Yeah,
because it's so much Schadenfreude.
Yeah,
and watching someone else just face plant so hard.
Oh, stepping on every rake there could possibly be. Yeah, he's definitely a really good at it. It feels right. It feels like, this is the thing that he would do. Speaking of hog slop, I have been waiting with bated breath for Mike Tyson to kick the living shit out of Jake Paul. I don't know about you. Just I'm on Tinterhooks. It's a whole thing.
You're doing the whole deal.
Because, I grew up with Mike Tyson being
the scariest motherfucker that ever lived.
He beat your ass. And
my skills are undeniable.
I mean, they called him Iron Mike for a reason. The guy whooped people's asses.
Yeah, everyone was scared of him, particularly the women in his life.
Yes. And also apparently his tattoo artist. Anyway, so a video surfaced this week, originally posted here by Shannon the Dude. I've never been more confident in Mike Tyson than watching this video that Jake Paul just put out on Instagram. And it's a video of Jake Paul, an overweight Jake Paul, benching 500
with no spotter.
Well, I mean, he's got those two weirdos behind him, but I'm pretty sure they're not ready to spot.
Yeah, they're not stanced up.
No. He yells something at the end, and I think it's download something, play better, bitch. I don't know.
I don't know. It is definitely guy outside the gas station charging his phone on the outlet that's also charging the ice machine vibes.
Yeah, and so, he's got this huge gut and all this stuff. Well, someone whose career I've followed for a long time, Katie Notopoulos, posting the follow-up, I'm mad as hell that I had to watch so many Jake Paul videos to debunk this. But in this YouTube short, you can see how the latex of the fake stomach/chest buckles around the cleavage. And if you watch it again, which I did several times, when he goes down right about there, right?
Oh, so it's like Beyonce's fake baby bump.
You can kind of see the outline of the fake gut that he has on.
A little bit, yeah. Also the weight is not settling naturally when he lays back.
No.
And it's not shifting like, even if you can have really strong abs.
Right.
And obviously have a gut.
Right.
And that will keep that part of your abdomen like less, gooey.
But it's not hard like a rock like that, unless you have problems with your stomach or something.
Unless you're on 30 grand of gear a month or something.
And even then, you'd shift a little. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that this is how you're hyping this fight up. I'm wondering, how much.
The story of this weird little gnome man. He keeps yelling stuff into a camera, and I don't understand what he's saying.
I start to wonder how much he's taken from the wrestling that he's seen, and how fake are we gonna make that? I don't know. It's just so weird.
You gotta wonder how much worse he has to be making it for himself just by confusing Mike Tyson. Because you think Mike, does any of this resonate? He probably, this is weird.
Who knows?
This guy I don't understand what he's doing. I don't understand the point.
Yeah, I mean, he'll show up in the ring and be like, "I thought you was fat."
Yeah, what happened to your tummy?
Because he's going to show up at weigh-in, and he's going to be all trimmed down, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh my God, he lost all that weight." I'm like, no, it was fake to begin with, and also, who is this for? Because anyone with eyes can see that this is just bullshit. It's one of those things. It's so bizarre. to go through all this effort, like, because they did the tattoos on the fake belly, like they drew on the tattoos and stuff. This is just so weird. I don't know, man.
It is upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
And this truly is upsetting reality. Not more upsetting than keeping it slick and pissy.
That's right. Brian is referring to our third story this week. Mini Soldier, North Carolina GOP nominee Mark Robinson. CNN busting out this explosive piece, linking him back to several forums, not the least of which was Nude Africa, where he posted things like, "I'm a black Nazi."
And also, like, lots of fantasies about fucking his sister-in-law.
Yep.
And about that ass. Yes, sir, I got that asshole wet and pissy.
Yes.
I was eating her cream. She was eating my smegma. You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
vulgar.
Yeah. One of his stories that he wrote was about peeping on women in public gym showers at 14. Let's see here. I came to a spot that was a dead end but had 2 big vent covers over it. It just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered. I went peeping again the next morning, but after I went back, the ladder was locked. So those 2 times were the only times I got to do it. Ah, memories. He also enjoys trans girl porn, trans girl on cis girl porn. That's fucking hot, he says. It takes the man out while leaving the man in. And yeah, I'm a perv too.
So I'm going to be, you know, a lot of this, he ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's on to something.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like,
You will get an argument from me. I'm not saying that's
yeah,
salacious or weird.
He's like, you've cracked the code.
Yeah.
The gooning governor has figured something out. And that was Felix Bierman, who I believe coined gooning governor.
Yeah.
But
Big ups to Felix, yeah.
yeah, it's just insane. This guy will probably still become governor.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now he's lieutenant governor. He's running for the big seat.
Yep.
And he did no OPSEC or no like security on.
Clearly.
He's been, like, using the same email and I think like the same username for like the better part.
Yeah,
of a
Mini
decade.
Soldier. Yeah, that's the. He's used it for 20 years or so. Here's one of the great comments here. Get that fucking commie bastard off the National Mall, he wrote about the dedication of the memorial to Martin Luther King in Washington, D.C. by then President Barack Obama. I'm not in the KKK. They don't let blacks in. If I was in the KKK, I would have called him Martin Lucifer Coon.
Ooh, that's rough.
This is the guy, by the way, that Trump says is MLK on steroids. No.
He's very good. He likes it wet and pissy.
CNN, to their credit, did an enormous amount of digging. They went through things like matching up, you know, when he got married, posts about, the specific phrases. I don't give a frog's fat ass was used by both the Mini Soldier user on Nude Africa and Mark Robinson on his official Twitter account. Or I don't give 2 shakes, or gag a maggot.
Dunderhead. Yeah, it's this is actually some pretty extensive research.
Yeah, I mean, they...
I get the feeling that they had like an intern or research R on this. Is like, man, fuck this guy. Like,
well,
turn over every rock
to digest his posting style, like that's some real shit.
That's some real fucking like, what did you post on Fiad? Like,
yeah, are you a re-reg? Let me look through your post history. Yeah.
Whoever did this research also probably has a great backup of prospectors' posts.
Oh, release them, please.
The posts.
Yeah. In a largely positive forum discussion, this is the stinger at the end of the article here on CNN.com. In a largely positive forum discussion featuring a photo of 2 men kissing after one returned from a military deployment, Robinson wrote the sole negative comment. That's some old sick-ass F-slur bullshit. Which, okay, you know, you're being edgy 2008 to 2012. You're going to say the F-slur. That happens online. It still doesn't make you fit to be, you know, governor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He just seems like a miserable human being.
Well, yeah, that's a big part of it too.
To the point, like, also, like, this is also escaped the compound, and the compound is the internet, because I had like coworkers ask me like, "You hear about this today?" You know, I'm
Well,
like,
CNN reported it. I think
Sure.
it's the big legitimate news source came out with it.
That
so-
doesn't always mean that it escapes containment.
True.
Because sometimes things like CNN or the Guardian are kind of their own bubble, or the Atlantic.
It can be, yeah.
But like a guy at work who has never expressed anything about politics or being cognizant of the outside world, being like, "You see this like Mark Romney? Yeah. He just said a bunch of crazy shit on the internet," and like, yes, he did.
Yeah.
And we can't talk about any of it.
Right.
We
Yeah.
cannot.
We're at work.
Yeah.
I had to shut down a discussion about Puff Daddy on a work chat this morning. I was like, yeah, we can't really get into all this. This is
You can't.
HR is watching everything we do.
We
So
can't be talking like that, white baby.
I do want to call some of my coworkers white babies sometimes, but they will not get it. They won't understand what I mean.
He'll just be really confused, and
It's just going to cause more problems than it solves, to be honest. All right, well, I guess that means it's Crypto Scam of the Week time, Brian.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the Crypto Scam of the Week.
sir.
OpenAI has been in the news a lot lately. This week, unfortunately, it was because they were the target of not only a hack, but a subsequent crypto scam. Molly White, Web3 is going great. Writing here, OpenAI Twitter account once again hacked and used to promote scam token. A Twitter account belonging to OpenAI's news account was compromised and used to announce a scam website purporting to announce the $OpenAI token. Quote, all OpenAI users are eligible to claim a piece of $OpenAI's initial supply. Holding $OpenAI will grant access to all of our future beta programs, the scam tweets claimed. A link in the tweets directed users to a malicious website where, of course, you connect your wallet, you get your tokens, but then all your shit gets stolen. That's how it usually goes. Not the first Twitter hack / takeover that's resulted in a bunch of people losing shit to a bad link. You've had a lot of these types of things. But OpenAI, you kind of figure would be a bit more diligent on their OPSEC. You would think. Will McCurdy here, writing for Emerge, comments on the fake post were disabled. Perhaps an intentional ploy by the hackers to make the thread look less suspicious. 54,000 followers. I would imagine quite a few of them linked their accounts to this malicious nonsense.
Yeah, and you often don't realize until it's too late, like what you've done. Get the OpenAI coin, and
I know, it's baffling.
Mark, it's baffling. It's also boring because I feel like this shit just keeps happening. It doesn't get any more nuanced or any more like clever on the hacker or the scammer's part. It is literally everyone keeps falling for the fucking wallet inspector.
Literally in this case, because they
gave over permissions. Yeah.
And like, it's not like, you know, when the celebrity ones get hacked, they're pumping a certain coin or they're, you know, doing a specific one that they're going to then dump later. This is just straight up, here's a link to a wallet drainer. Like, it's not even nuanced. It's not even fun. It's just
And
sad.
they probably still walked. Does it say how much they walked away with?
It does not. There's no telling what the actual impact of this hack was, which is all the more troubling. Because, you know, besides the 54,000 followers, you got to imagine people who are all in on AI and who are interested in crypto may have, out of curiosity, seen this in their feed, right? The For You page, algorithmic, whatever, and clicked it and had their shit stolen. And who wants to admit that? Who wants to admit that they got? So it's really hard to tell. But I imagine they made it pretty penny. Because this isn't the first time that OpenAI and their people have gotten...
This is the third time.
According to the Molly White thing here, it says Mira Murati promoted the OpenAI
Find the
token.
guy that keeps doing this.
I know. And then Chief Scientist Jacob Pakaki and Jason Way were hacked and used to post the same scam as today. So
Jacob
times.
Bukaki?
Yeah, I know.
Of the Baltimore Bukaki?
Jacob Pacocki. Pakoki? I don't know. I
Jacob Bukaki.
I just kind of threw something at the wall. I don't know if it's actually how you
Jason
pronounce it.
Wee Wee. There we go.
Wee wee.
There we go.
That's what they used to call me in college, you know.
I have no further questions.
No further questions. Okay.
Further questions on why you were called Jason Wee Wee.
It's fine. It's a personal story anyway. It's fine.
It's between me and my doctor.
Exactly right. So Brian, since we had some time off and I didn't really feel like
Doing anything?
well, okay,
It's only
fair.
natural.
Yeah. I thought we'd do something a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun. This is a Tumblr account that has been active since around 2012, and it's about robots jacking you off.
Go on.
It is a robot made for Jerkin, the letter U.tumblr.com is the URL here. The title, Execute Pleasure Sequence. The subhead, Tune in, turn on, and get jerked off by a robot. So this actually started in 2012. I was thinking about Barack Obama.
If you like getting jerked off by your robot, you can keep him.
So this started as just a series of weirdly vague Tumblr posts about getting jacked off by a robot, January of 2016. And it starts with just this little short that was actually reposted from VHS Positive, the image at least, which is this robot doing a weird little movement. And it's JO853. Do you understand your orders? The machine stared blankly, processing what its master had just said. JO853, you were designed for a specific purpose. If you do not comply, you will be decommissioned. The JO unit's self-preservation circuits came online after the threat. It knew it was built for one thing and one thing only. Yes, Aaron, I will comply with your orders, said the machine dryly. Please prepare to be jerked off. And so it was from this one post that a bit of madness began. This is still active as of August of this year, by the way.
Phenomenal.
And it takes art and photos from around the web and turns it all into stories about robots jacking people off.
Tale as old as time.
The next post in that is somebody else's art, but then it's the machine took a path of least resistance back to its master. It flew home as soon as it got the distress call. The robot traveled over land and sea to get home quickly and give its master the jerkin of a lifetime.
You know, a quick aside here, because this has kind of been stuck in my head, was at my job,
Yeah.
someone called a pallet jack a hand jack,
Oh.
which is not necessarily, you just go, yeah, this is an incorrect way maybe to describe it, but not one that's going to make you go, oh, huh, what? But then they also said, because they couldn't find a pallet jack there, said they needed a handy J. And boy, did my head whip around.
Is that what? Hold up, what?
I said, yeah, it's kind of weird. Can't find those around here. I bet someone's got. I bet we go on the other side of the building. There's like 3 in a corner, and they're just like not doing shit with them. But I was like, handy, call it the handy J or the handy Jack, and my peanut brain.
Yeah.
We're getting jacked off by a pallet jack.
Yeah. Yeah. That's essentially what this blog is all about. Early in its development, the blog took a turn towards the political because they found this picture of Barack Obama bowing to the ASIMO. Japan's Museum of Emerging Technology has an ASIMO robot, and out of respect, Barack Obama bowed to it. And so this blog took it as a writing prompt. And Obama's palms were sweating as he met ASIMO. They had chatted online for months before meeting in person, and he just couldn't believe it was really happening. ASIMO gave him a warm smile as they bowed to greet each other. It was hard to mask the immense heat of their sexual tension, but they couldn't let the cameras know just how bad they wanted each other. I can't wait to leave Michelle and the kids for this beautiful machine, thought Barack. I thought the PlayStation was the best Japanese invention, but it's like this machine was just made for jerking this president off.
That's beautiful. And there's a close-up of Asimo's hand.
As we go previous into this, 2017, he followed the directions on the box down to the letter. His childhood love of Lego toys and Connect served him well in his adult years. Maybe he had missed his true calling to be a robot builder, but his degree in a STEM field was worth nothing nowadays. Seems even the mailman had an undergrad degree in electrical engineering. His loneliness got the better of him, and he ordered a build-your-own-robot kit online one night while drunk. He was a grade A hacker, so he could just design the software himself. His only need was the hardware, configured just the way he likes it. Smooth plastic hands, a long-life lithium-ion battery, and a face with no eyes, nose, or mouth. He was a man of limited means, but unlimited desire. Like all straight men, he wanted an endless supply of emotionless handjobs, but no woman would possibly go along with that. A woman, no, but a machine, ...
Phenomenal.
I mean, it really is just
George R. R. Martin, eat your heart out.
I'm telling you. They get weirder and weirder. Here's the bit, a screenshot of the movie Frank and the Robot, and more stills from people building robots. Some of them get really, really bizarre. There's a screen from a Terminator movie.
The widows of future wars will look very different. Instead of crying mothers and wives, the television will show images of hysterical men unable to control themselves as their synthetic companions are ripped from them to fight some war in some god-forsaken land. All the government needs to do is to press one button, and all the robots will turn away from their masters and report for duty. They'll forget their programming and go from jacking their masters endlessly to killing their fellow pleasure bots for some bureaucrat's war. Had Icarus flown too close to the sun? Was the world not ready to put down arms in favor of constant physical pleasure? Was it all built on a foundation too fragile?
Yeah. As funny as it is, it's also, of course there's an Elon Musk post.
Elon smiled as his climax was over. He had built this machine several years ago. He knew there was no way the world was ready for his game changer. Although his companies were billions of dollars in debt, he didn't want his most perfect creation in the hands of just anybody, even if it could bail him out. He found it odd that it was his own creation that was his own downfall. A constant, never-ending supply of handjobs from a gorgeous machine. Every man's weakness. Pandora's box was open, and he was doing everything he could to try and shut it. Except he didn't want to. All he had to do was give the command and its servos would power up. A faint humming and whizzing noise would come from the machine, and he would feel its smooth plastic hand on his member. It knew every inch of his groin. The biometric feedback scanners gave the machine unparalleled insight into his exact desires. Sometimes he wouldn't leave his lab for weeks. He'd order takeout, stock up on paper towels and bottled water, and let his creation do its job. When the public would ask what's taking so long with his electric cars or space rockets, he'd just give a smile and say, "I've been busy. Something big is coming," adding a wink at the end.
Honestly, Elon Musk getting jacked off by a robot kind of fits, kind of works.
At this point, I wouldn't doubt that he had some sort of fucking machine.
Yeah.
Who would fuck him?
Right.
There's also the rumor that he's like done some transhumanism shit to his prick. And
Yeah.
that's why all of his children have been IVF.
Going a bit more recent, a series of GIFs of Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, and Elton John. The Kurt Cobain one, I mean, it's nobody's business, but yeah, I get jerked a lot by my bot. Courtney saying, "I hate Kurt's dumbass bot. There'll be consequences." Dave Grohl replying, "Courtney way overreacted. What she did was inexcusable. She's so crazy. Can't stand her." Elton John wrapping it up with, "Really? When I thought about Kurt, he was to me like a candle near a gusty window." But the post itself is even better. In 1994, the music world lost its brightest light. Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of the rock and roll group Nirvana, died tragically. First of all, rock and roll group Nirvana? Okay. But the circumstance...
Enough is enough.
They weren't split ends. But the circumstances surrounding his death were very suspicious. Kurt's life had changed in the months before his passing. He had a child with his wife, Courtney Love, and found himself lonely from time to time. To ease his urges, he bought a jerk bot. With his vast wealth, he was able to afford a premium model with long-life lithium-ion batteries, biometric feedback scanners, and the smoothest, cool plastic hands in the world. His wife was none too happy about it. She felt threatened by the machine's presence and began to turn on her husband. One day in early April, Kurt made his way into the greenhouse to get a good jerking. He figured he would be polite and do it in the greenhouse so he didn't disturb anyone in the house. As he sat down, he began to relax, but suddenly saw his wife standing in front of him holding a shotgun. After Courtney was done murdering Kurt, she staged the greenhouse to look like a suicide. She even planted some of her own drugs on him. She took her husband's robot and threw it in the trash, feeling victorious. The police didn't bother investigating the homicide because when they asked Courtney what happened, she lied to them. But they believed her when she said she didn't do it.
I like how it turned into like an angry forums post from like 2002 about what was the guy?
El Duce.
El Duce, that's right.
Here's what Tom Holland, when he was doing the Spider-Man movie. I'm not actually seeing anyone at the moment. I've actually got a machine at home that handles my needs physically. The way my bot jerks me is just so right every night. I love it. And again, here's Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz got caught up in the robot jack-off scandal.
I can't believe it.
Here's the fake headline in the fake news article that they wrote that appeared apparently on MSNBC. Naughty Ted caught in a delicious glory hole robot scandal. Jesus. When Ted first heard about a robot glory hole, his heart started racing. His eyes widened, and he felt a cool blanket of sweat forming on his forehead. He knew he was at a crossroads, both in his faith and in his work. Would this be the next chapter in his own great American novel? Nothing else. That's the entire post. The Democrats are laughing, and then there's Paul Ryan. Obviously, I stand with Ted. In my mind, he did nothing wrong. I'd do the same thing. Joe Biden, why would you even ask about that? So inappropriate. Barack Obama, no more questions about my pleasure bot. This interview is over. So more Obama getting jacked off by a robot.
Politics is a very dirty business. The 2008 election was maybe the dirtiest election ever, and there was mud on both sides. It started when Sarah Palin used a private investigator to find dirt on Obama. She discovered that he not only had a pleasure bot, but he was flying out to Chicago every weekend to use it on the taxpayer's dime. This is not only illegal, but eroded the public's faith in their elected officials. Obama survived the scandal due to his good looks and alpha male attitude. When he was elected, however, he did not forget his old political foe. He instructed his Justice Department to bug Sarah Palin and listen in on her conversations. It seems she was very upset about losing the election and was saying some very mean things. The Justice Department had her on tape swearing.
Swearing?
Barack exercised his executive branch powers and arrested her immediately. She was locked in prison without a trial, and no one heard from her ever again. Barack continued using his pleasure bot during his presidency. Historians want to describe his presidency as lazy and too unfocused. It seemed Barack was in a constant post-ejaculatory period, which left him unable to effectively lead.
Yeah, so Trivago, there's Jimmy Fallon gets there. Even the band Jet is saved from the robot jerking.
Amazing.
And I mean, very prolific, almost daily for several years. Took a bit of a break. The last post was November 2018, before the most recent ones. In the November 2018, it was Steph Curry getting jerked off by a robot. Let's see here. You had Donald Trump, and God, and George Soros. Following the midterm elections, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions found himself in the unemployment line, but the whole thing was a setup from the start. Billionaire vigilante George Soros had planted a pleasure bot in Jeff's house and made sure the chief of staff, John Kelly, would be there to see it happen. When Kelly saw Sessions with his pants around his ankles and his eyes rolled back in his head, he was disgusted. He raised a stink and forced him to testify in front of Congress, which embarrassed Sessions so much he was forced to resign. When Trump heard of all of this, he was heartbroken. He and Sessions were best of friends. First of all, flag on the play. Bullshit. Between the three of them, they were able to turn the White House into a well-oiled machine, capable of leadership never before seen. But being very professional, emotionally mature, and respectful, Trump was able to hold back tears when it was time for him to leave. Following his departure, the White House was never the same. George Soros had struck again. You know you've entered the realm of fiction when Trump is referred to as emotionally mature and respectful.
This feels like someone was trying to basically shitpost their way to like maybe eventually writing something for The Onion.
Yeah. I mean, they managed to get everybody. They got the Star Wars folks in on it. They got... God.
Is that Future?
Migos.
Oh,
That's
Migos. I just had mental clarity when I felt that cool hand start jerking. Everything just clicked into place.
I sleep like a baby now that I have a robot hand to jerk me off every night.
Amazing.
Melania needed a change. She was sick of her husband. Sure, he was the most handsome man in the... Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I forgot about this one. The most handsome man in the world, but everyone knew that. She felt like she wanted more. One night, while Donald was having an important meeting with some world leader, she got bored and started looking around on the internet. She realized what she needed, what had been missing. What she needed was a machine to satisfy her. Now, this is one of the few ones where it's a woman getting jacked off by a machine. This is very... She had everything she could ever want, but she wanted to be left alone. She wanted to feel the large, smooth hands of a machine. The thought of the large, smooth hands of the machine made her heart skip a beat. On the day the machine arrived, the press had a field day. It seems most pleasure bot manufacturers didn't grasp the understanding of discreet packaging. Reports were on every news channel about Melania's secret pleasure bot. When Donald took a break from his executive time to talk to her, she knew he was pissed. They had to find a way to spin this. Donald couldn't stand to be embarrassed in front of the world. He realized the only way to play defense was with good offense. He told Fox and Friends the next morning that he was sick of Melania and that he bought her the pleasure bot himself. He explained how busy he is day in, day out, and how he's doing the will of the American people. They understood, and nobody thought it was weird anymore. A week later, Donald heard moans.
They're not saying I'm weird. They're saying the jerk-off machine is weird.
Yeah. A week later, Donald heard moans coming from Melania's room and decided to be a naughty boy and looked through the keyhole of her door. He saw the machine providing pleasure to his wife. He could tell she had configured it with long-life lithium-ion batteries and biometric feedback scanners. Yeah. A smart girl. Donald saw the hands of the machine, smooth plastic and large, much larger than his. He knew Melania liked the large, smooth hands of the machine. She enjoyed feeling the large, smooth hands on her body. As he watched the machine bring her pleasure, like he had so many times before, he couldn't help but feel aroused. He liked this feeling of watching some other entity pleasuring his wife while he sat idly by. He also began to like the idea of masturbating while watching his wife with a machine. Maybe this was one lie that turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Sorry, that was poorly written last sentence. Maybe this was one lie that turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Oh, boy.
Amazing.
There's a lot of these posts, folks. They're all very, very much the same. And you'll notice, you noticed that there were some running themes
about the biometric feedback scanners.
And the long-life lithium batteries and the smooth plastic hands. Yeah, there's a very particular fixation. I mean, there's even one where
The world is a robot sent to jerk.
Yeah, it is the gift set from Bullet Butterfly Wing. Wonderful stuff. The most recent post is an appeal to help someone living in Gaza.
From Gaza City, I personally chose you because you support the Palestinian cause. I will tell you my short story, and I hope you can help me. I've lost everything, my house, my money, my work. Nowadays, we have nothing, and we are in difficult and inhuman circumstances. Where I am the only breadwinner of my family, because of my father's presence in the northern part of Gaza, please help me rebuild my family's house. On the sad smiley face, or sad emoji, emoticon, whatever. My last hope is to bring my family back to life. All I need is to help you and donate. Oh, this isn't all about getting jacked off by a robot.
No, this post is actually like a legit ask for please help my GoFundMe.
I was really waiting for the part where
I know, we were waiting for a joke.
The Israelis have destroyed our jack-off robot factory.
Yeah.
And they have cut off the sex play lube. They are starving us out, as it were.
The long life lithium batteries can last no longer. We have no more smooth plastic for the hands of our jerk off bots. Yeah,
the true cruelty of the Israelis.
I'm telling you. But
boy,
no,
you really set me up for that.
I walked you right into it. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I thought it was here in Palestine. We were resorting to jerk off robots because our hands were too dirty.
Right.
But now the jerk off robots are in disarray due to the air raids.
I didn't ask you to read that, by the way.
I know.
This post is about Gaza. It's post after post. There's the Joe Biden one. But it's very clearly someone with a bit of a rightward bent because they're very pro Donald Trump, calling him like super handsome and all that shit. Bill Nye going in about Da Vinci making jerk off robots. There's just some interesting stuff going on there. It's
Amazing.
a very weird little blog. I felt like bringing that to your attention because A, it's fun. B, it's funny. It didn't require a lot of brain space. We could let ourselves be free and just enjoy the time we have together.
They say by 2028, 75% of all jerking off will be done by a robot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man. I don't think I could trust a robot to jack my shit. Personally.
At this point, I got nothing to lose.
Except your dick.
What was I doing with it?
Okay, fair, but
Like I had someone say,
pissing? I don't know.
I had someone say to me the other day, you're really good at like impressions and like doing voices. I'm like,
Yeah?
I don't got a lot going on.
I don't know about that.
Like there's been long periods of my time or long periods of my life where I get to sit there and just be like, damn it, Bobby.
I mean, anybody who hears something enough will start to kind of form that in their minds. At least of the people I know. They'll start to be like, hey, how you doing over there?
I can't be doing this again. Tone.
Hey, Tone. Fucking goddamn it. What was it, Chrissy, when I came in one day to open the Bing, you were there. Your head was in the toilet and your hair was in the toilet water. Disgusting. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, there's a limited talent pool. This guy's limited talent pool was writing about
jerking off. Robot whom jerk you off.
Robots whom
jerk the meat.
I think it's time to show you something nasty. It's been a while.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see some gross images. Can't be any worse than Logan Paul's fake baby bump.
Oh, yes, it
Jake
can.
Paul.
Yes, it can. Yes,
I
it
see
can.
the title of this one, and it's got me concerned. It's got me doing a heck of concern, like I'm a doggo.
It's called Hot Iron, also known as Hot Iron on Penis. This from the folks at Run the Gauntlet.
Which is a great name for a shock site.
It is fantastic. RunTheGauntlet.org. If you know, you know. This one called Hot Iron on Penis. Now,
this man has got his back pressed up against the wall.
A door, it looks like.
A door, yes.
Yeah.
And there's a blonde woman with a low cut top, and she's got a classic silver clothing iron.
Yeah, the one that you would think of when you think of a clothing iron. That's
Yes.
the one that she's got. And the first thing she does, my favorite part, the steam. She hits the steam button, and the steam shoots out, and then presses it on his dick, and he goes, ah! Now,
God, Bob from accounting is in some kinky shit.
he does remind me of the guy who played Kevin on The Office. Like, that's what he was getting into. But, okay.
Kevin, it's time for your 8 p.m. dick flattening.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's Angela.
Angela doesn't like me getting my dick flattened.
No, I think that is Angela on the right there. So, now follow along with me here. All right. So she does the steam thing. Now wait. Then there is a cut. I think that's faked. I think they did this part first.
The set the believability.
Right. And then they plugged it in, turned the steam on, did the steam, got it close, and then cut away. That's my thought.
I can see your sport. Because I feel
like
no matter how stoic I could be, someone putting a clothing iron on my pecker, on my baby dick, I don't think I would just turn my head back and go, oh!
Yeah.
I feel like there'd be a full body reaction.
His reaction does seem
a little muted.
He doesn't sell
It's
it.
just like, oh no, my dick is being ironed like a shirt.
Oh no!
Oh, how could this terrible situation befall me, a simple man, naked on ironing board?
Uh-oh.
This isn't good.
Oh, wait till my wife hears about this. Yeah.
Why does your dick smell like burnt skin? Well, honey, there's a funny story behind that.
My coworker from the paper factory said she wanted to flatten it out. Yeah, and sitting on the ironing board to me is the best part of this.
In front of a door.
Because I guess that's where they could get the plug in.
Outlet, yeah.
It's so bizarre. To me, this is funnier than most of these other ones that we see. Because, like, okay, you cringe. I'm cringing. I'm crossing my legs in solidarity with this fella. But also, like, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Because he's just sitting there.
Oh,
Yeah, going, ah. Wait, let's hear it again. I want to hear the sound he actually makes. Because it's a very particular... Okay. Okay. Maybe he's selling it a bit more than I thought he did originally. Even then.
He's no guy sticking his finger in a blender or guy sticking his aluminum foil wrapped penis in the light socket.
That was the one I thought of. Ah! Yeah. Yeah, because I would definitely be more yelpy.
Probably, I think all time, like probably the more comedic
Yes.
videos you showed me.
absolutely. Well, the sound makes it. The sound makes that one. Well, especially because it just cuts off. Because I'm sure there was more actual screaming after it, but it's just yeah. So yeah, that's hot iron on penis.
Hot iron on penis.
They didn't really have a creative name with this one. Run the Gauntlet is just a series of videos, and this is but one of them. The gauntlet itself is things like people falling to their death, or worms in someone's nose. It's definitely not something I want to get into right now, but something worth.
Cool. So we got the next couple months of things to show me.
I think so. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Father Internet.
I tell you,
this Kali Yuga is growing great for me. I don't know about anyone else.
Exactly right. Well, I guess that means it's time for the breath mint, Brian.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
So it has been a while since we blessed you with any breath mint stuff. I guess you and I should start off because we did go to another thing where we both saw the same thing.
Yeah, we both were at the same space.
Bodies and Spaces.
Bodies and Spaces. And saw a really interesting show. Yeah, I have +1 for Gel.
I didn't realize I had completely missed because there were 4 or 5 bands.
You missed one band.
I missed one band.
They only played for 15 minutes, but it was quite a 15 minutes. A band called Night Drader from Hasburg, Mississippi, which is also the same town that MS Paint hails from, who were also on the bill. So yes, the headliner was Gel.
Mm-hmm.
Then the support was Destiny Bond.
Oh,
Fantastic. Third time seeing them, always great. The Mall, pretty good. MS Paint and Night Trader.
yeah.
Not necessarily playing in that order, but that's who performed.
Yeah, and you're right. We did see some amazing crowd killing.
You know, I imagine it feels bad to accidentally get like slammed to the stage or into a pole or whatever, but by like a tall dude from West County in a shirt that says "I heart eating microplastics."
I got a picture of that guy. Yes, I love that guy. Yeah, or the guy in the Jesus outfit. He's wearing the King Diamond makeup.
Oh yeah, Hardcore Jesus or whatever.
Hardcore Jesus. Yeah, there were just so many.
Yeah, that guy was
interesting-
at the King Gizzard show.
Okay.
He was actually, I think, one of the first people to crowd surf.
Now, see, that's entertainment. So, yes, Gel, MS Paint, The Mall, Destiny Bond. What was the first band?
Night Trader.
Night Trader. Man, what a...
I thought their name at first was Night Predator, which was like, that's also a cool name for a weird, like, heavy shoegaze band.
Yeah.
But Night Trader is like a little bit more like, ooh, what's that?
But yeah, a lot of hardcore bands on that show. I loved it. I love people going nuts at hardcore shows.
I just feel like the Duck Room is a really small... And I was actually talking with someone about it today. It's tough to see shows like that there because there's not enough space to get away from it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be on the periphery of the pit.
Yeah, I managed, but that's just because, I was like, I don't want to part any of this. I saw
There
the
were
first...
also like people on the periphery of the pit that were like stanced up.
True.
Which does not happen at a lot of shows I go to. Usually it's kind of like the very outline of the pit is got the most buckled knees, pre-ready to eat shit. But people had like their shoulders up, they were
I saw
ready
a couple of
to
those
get,
guys,
to get
yeah.
slammed into if it happened. And I think that like helped. That's a hard room to duck a stage diver if you're up front. Like I was ducking like fucking George Bush at a shoe.
Oh, yeah. Because at several points, the Destiny Bond champ was like, yeah, let's go. Get up here. And so a couple people did. Yeah, it was pretty intense. I'd not seen stage diving on that set. Now, if you guys are not familiar, we're talking about Blueberry Hill,
Which looks
is
like a mid-century basement rec room. It's very dark. It has like
yes,
like natural rock walls, like limestone.
yeah,
And it has a very like Colgate Hour Swingers vibe.
it's very dank. It's a very
I mean it's a cool room. I love seeing shows there most of the time.
but it is sweaty. It's moist
sweaty.
in there.
I don't know if you're leaving it into the first part, but yeah, some young girl got absolutely fucking slammed into the front of the stage, and her body was blocked by people the whole entire time. She was crumpled on the ground. Mm-hmm. But I just saw like people coming over and like seemed they could help, and just like their faces like changing dramatically, and just like walking away like, no, I can't do this. And I'm like, did she get like a gnarly broken nose or whatever? And then I found out later from some other people that like, oh, she had like a dislocated kneecap.
I watched them carry her out from the pit because Destiny Bond stopped the song and was like, get her out of here. And they carried her over, and I was standing by the merch booth, so I was like right where they put her. And yeah, that kneecap was like all the way over. Like her kneecap was just completely
nasty. I
out
heard
of it.
someone got a beer bottle broken over their head.
yeah, that was later. Yeah, it was a whole mess. A lot of people were just getting wrecked.
I was talking to one of the people who was working door that night afterwards, and they said that they had ambulance show up 3 times.
I was gonna say, yeah, at
Twice
least
for
twice.
the show, one for something that was going on at Blueberry Hill itself.
Right.
And that's so gnarly.
It's like, well, okay, I guess it's a hardcore show.
Sure, but I've just never seen people just like get taken out like that.
Most hardcore shows I used to go to weren't on a concrete floor in a basement.
I mean, I've gotten knocked off my feet at hardcore shows. Again, I've got bumped around. I've gotten scrapes. Like, I've definitely walked away from a hardcore show and been like, oh, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, I had a swollen jaw once or twice, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or, like, you got, like, someone, like, a welt on your neck because someone, like, as they were coming over someone else's shoulders, accidentally kicked you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I've just never seen something where it's like, we've got to stop the show and get an EMT down here.
Yeah.
But it was a super fun show.
And all the bands were on their fucking A game, I gotta tell you.
Yeah. Did you stay through all of Jill's set?
I did not, because I was trying to make it to a friend of ours' show, Jeffy and the Sunken Heads, who write our theme song. Bob had said we're doing a show at Whiskey Ring. I said, okay, let me see if I can make it. I drove across town to make it to Jeffy and the Sunken Heads show, and they were done by the time I got there. So I did not see the end of the show.
You gotta learn something. And sometimes someone's going on Cherokee Street, and you are not on Cherokee Street, and you're like, oh, I think I can make it. You're not going.
I'm not gonna make it. Yeah.
I think no, never have I ever. I have like moved fucking the heavens and the earth, and still like, and have never made it on time to something. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm in U City, or oh yeah, I'm somewhere. I'm shooting out something. I'm doing something on West County. Like, oh, I'm gonna try and make it out. And like, yeah, I just like busted ass to drive to Cherokee Street, like to not make it work.
So that was a disappointment. I did not get to see the end of Jell's set, but the half of it I saw, I enjoyed the living hell out of it. So I'm very thank you for inviting me along. That was
I'm
very
sorry
nice.
we didn't get to like talk a lot.
Oh well, that's how it goes when you're shooting shows, man. I mean,
but usually, like when we did,
we saw Slow Dive. You're right. We did get to hang out a bit more.
There's usually, but I think you were like, I don't want to get accidentally like cry kicked in the chest. I have children I have to take care of.
That did factor into it just a touch. Yeah, I did have to work in the morning, so I didn't want to be woken up with bruises and whatnots, and still have to do my email job. So it was still a good time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad you had fun.
Oh yeah. What else this week did you do in the old? Well, yeah,
a lot of things have been happening. I photographed Pitbull.
Dale!
Yeah.
The two dumbest guys on earth just yelling Dale at each other.
it's the two dumbest guys you know. They're both wearing PewDiePie shirts and they're saying Dale.
Yep. Just yelling Mr. Worldwide in a parking lot.
Yeah, it was it was cool. Like I shot that show because
it's fucking Pitbull. What else?
Well, I mean, but the thing that the motivation was because T-Pain was the opener, and D is a huge fan.
Yeah,
and D wrote down the wrong date to get off for work, they had to work that Saturday. For some reason they thought it was on a Saturday.
Oh no!
And I'm like fucking running around with a chick in my head cough, so I never like picked up when they said the 21st all the time instead of the 22nd.
No.
But I also was like saying things like, well, if I get to shoot Riot Fest, I'm going to come home early on Sunday so I can take you to see T-Pain and Pitbull.
Yeah. And
she was like, oh, okay. Wires crossed. So I got to enjoy a show that she didn't get to go to. I had fun. I mean, it was absurd. I mean, I knew I was in for something weird because I thought it was going to be a little bit of an older crowd, but it was much younger than I thought it was going to be. And I'm like walking up to Riverport, the amphitheater that's occurring at. It's a sold out show. And there's a bunch of white kids. They're all just like wearing, they're maybe 20 at oldest. And they're all like wearing the same like white t-shirt, soccer shorts. And these group of these guys, these young white dudes are all kind of dressed the same, all have the same stupid haircut, are roasting one of them for stopping to tie his shoe. And one of them goes, yeah, man, you're so musty. And I'm like,
oh no.
We have no comprehension of what words may or may not be appropriate to use as an insult as a white boy.
No.
And I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of, but that's like how it kind of was. It was like every other girl there was dressed like she was cosplaying as a Kardashian.
Oh no!
Like looking like they have a makeup tutorial, like TikTok or YouTube account.
Get ready with me.
So as some people like say, the skirts were out.
Yeah.
The women were looking beautiful.
Sure.
And all the guys look like shit.
As is to be expected. And
that's like a thing that used to crack me up at Blockbuster. You'd see guys looking like they just got pulled out of the gutter.
Yeah.
Walking in with a dime piece.
Yeah.
Like guys who look like you've got a piece of paper stuck to your dick, man.
Yeah.
You've got a receipt.
Yeah.
You've got a receipt for one buffet for a Shoney's in Gatlinburg. Just glued to you. This absolutely is adhered to your dick surgically. It will have to be surgically removed.
Yeah.
And you walk in with someone who looks like they're a receptionist at a high-end salon. And that's like that was the whole thing. Dudes look like shit, women looking great. The girls were looking folks, the girls were looking great. The guys, they were looking like slobs. They were looking like pigs, like little doggies, like little hogs.
That's exactly what it was when I worked at the casino. It was the same vibe.
Like guys,
Complete bullshit on the dude. Well, okay, sometimes the guys would have almost like Jersey Shore style shit going on,
Like
frosted tips and the whole too much bronzer, too much this. But the ladies, dressed to the nice, and they're going to the casino at like 2 a.m. because that's when the bars close down. The casino bars don't close till 3. See, and so. The ladies.
I know this game very well.
Oh yeah, it's the oldest game in town. It's either that or go over to Pops, so where the bar doesn't close till 6. But yes, I'm familiar with the vibe. I'm familiar with the vibe of those shows too, because I told you this many times. I used to work at Riverport back in the day, and the same exact thing would happen when Sammy Hagar would come to town. The exact same thing. The ladies dressed up, even though, some of them were in their 40s and 50s. They're still dressed up as best as they can. The guys look like they were heading to the lake to watch a dog die. I don't know whether...
Curtis fucked up, and he accidentally knocked the prop engine off his 12-footer. So we got to figure out some way to get that at the bottom of the lake. Like, definitely like some dumbass project. Like,
yeah.
Like, you got squirrels in the attic.
Yeah.
Bunch of guys sitting around drinking cheap beer. Just go, how are we gonna get the squirrels out of the attic?
Not a brain cell between them, but yeah.
But the T-Pain was fun.
Oh yeah. I love watching him on TikTok because he plays fucking Call of Duty all the time and he slays.
He was really weird to photograph because he was not doing anything that looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
He very much felt like a kid dancing in front of a mirror, and I like.
At the same time, yeah.
But it's like T-Pain. Like T-Pain, you were like the epitome of cool. So why are you dancing like this?
I don't think he was
this
ever
like Star Wars kid T-Pain.
I don't think he was ever cool for dancing though. He was cool for going shada, like he was.
I don't know. Like it was super fucking fun. My photos just didn't like. I just had a hard time. But I've like looked at other people on this tour that photographed, other photographers. And everyone seemed like I have a problem like photographing T-Pain. So I don't know. Maybe that's just the curse of T-Pain.
I was gonna say I think it's his whole deal. Yeah.
Pitbull was a fucking treat of surrealism because I just like a week ago was photographing a hardcore show and like I was photographing like Frank Turner and
King Gizzard.
I just photographed like circle jerks.
Oh yeah.
And surfboard a couple nights before. And 2 nights before that. I was photographing fucking The Used.
Right.
So I'm like, so this is really, so I'm like talking with some people and they're like, so you went from like photographing a hardcore show to like punk and all this to Pitbull. I go, yeah, Dale. I wanted to,
Oh
and,
yeah.
it was super fun, weird. Like watching people go the fuck off was really entertaining. It was, again, a sold out amphitheater show. So it's like 30,000 fucking people. Just this really great energy. Like I shot my 3 songs. I got some stuff I'm really happy with. I dropped my camera bag off and came back out with Rima, who's also one of the house photographers at the pageant with me. I forget who she was shooting for. I was shooting for the Arts STL. But we're just like standing by the front of the house where we were photographing from. And probably watched like 4 or 5 songs. And we're just like, this is great. This is so much fun. Like fucking... he's like talking about like, how Vegas, they say, what happens in Vegas, and he pauses and the crowd goes, stays in Vegas.
Right.
But in Miami, what happens in Miami never happens.
Okay.
And then it became the I Don't Care About Your Boyfriend song.
Okay.
And there was a guy in his road crew that was standing next to us. And he saw that we were geeking out. And so he tapped Rima on his shoulder. And he showed us his VIP pass. But on the key ring that was on was a like an old style like hotel.
Yeah.
Like the
little plastic
little
guys.
placard. diamond, and it said 305 on it.
No.
And I was like, and we were like, fuck, that's awesome. And this is a guy who looks like an old school trucker, just like giving us a big shitting grin, like, yeah, that's what's up. I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was like a little bummed I didn't get to stay as long as I wanted because I had mandatory overtime at my day job.
I was gonna say work.
And we fucking show up. Normal start time's 5 for us, but we get there at 6. But it's our day off, and we get told at the department that apparently needed us so bad, we don't have any work for you.
Oh, come on!
And I just
call
like
me the night
as a
before,
member of
man.
management.
Yeah.
Straight up said, I left a fucking Pitbull show early for this, and I saw a dude who was on that team's management hide behind his computer.
Yeah.
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 And other people who didn't know I was at the Pit, like, you fucking left Pitbull early for this shit, man. I'd be fucking pissed. I'm like, well, I gotta be professional.
Well, I don't have anything nearly that cool. I saw the Borderlands movie.
God. Talk about going to a lake to watch a dog die.
I'm telling you, dude. I have no great love for the Borderlands games aside from 2. The first one, I always felt like was such a fucking boring slog.
It's a real proof of concept.
It really is. And Gearbox, God bless them, did their best under very difficult circumstances. And they really made the most out of what little they were given. Unfortunately, the movie follows the basic plot of the first game. So if you know the plot of the first game, it's a series of vault hunters come to Pandora to get the vault open, and that's the basics, right?
Kevin Hart, he came to Pandora because he didn't want children to transition.
That's true.
I need money to get the kids for get the hormones away from them.
I think he came to Pandora because he thought that the vault had like a way to make you taller. But anyway, they do make one Kevin Hart is short joke early in the movie. And I'm like, you could have gone further. He's in this. Just abuse him, please. But you know,
a man who deserves to be beaten wherever he goes.
He's also not funny in this. It's mostly forgivable. A lot of the movie is very
forgivable or forgettable.
It's not necessarily forgettable because, unlike the Garfield movie, I do remember what happened in it. But I think the reason I remember what happened in it is because I remember what happened in the first game. So it's kind of one of those things where, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. So Kevin Hart is Roland. You got a young unknown playing Tiny Tina.
Is Tiny Tina racist?
Tiny Tina is not racist in this movie, thank God. Although she does use the phrase badonkadonk, but only once, and in reference to some explosive that she has in a doll, and that's fine. Cate Blanchett, for some unknown reason, is Lilith. As Cate Blanchett does, she eats. You got your Jamie Lee Curtis. You got your Jack Black there doing a fairly serviceable class.
Israel has a right to protect itself.
No, not great, but
not great. Jack, this Jack Black robot is really upsetting.
Last week, Jack quit the band. Yeah, it's just not. He's got the quirky little voice thing, and it's fine. He does channel that Claptrap character, so he kind of gets the characterization now, which is interesting, because I was like, okay, this is a new but very, very familiar take on Claptrap. Claptrap kind of sucks to begin with. He's an annoying asshole, so it kind of fits. But, it barely hangs together. It's kind of there. It doesn't do anything new with the IP. That's my big problem with it. So many things go right and so many things go wrong. I like that they had the character of Krieg, who is a psycho that's like fighting for the good guys, but there's other psychos that are bad guys, and there's some fun little set pieces. But yeah, for the most part, most of what happens in the movie, A, is in the games, and B, just doesn't really seem to fucking matter, because they get to the same point in the end that they would have gotten to, whether they'd gone through all this bullshit or not. Eli Roth, who was the director of this movie,
the Bear Jew,
yes, has done so much better with so much less. He got all this money to do this movie, and he's done far better movies with a smaller budget. And I think that's where his comfort zone is. It's like if you give John Carpenter a James Cameron budget, And he goes, sure, I'll do this, extremely insane CGI bullshit. His heart's not in it. His skills are with the mid-budget movie. Don't give him a big-budget movie. Give him a small or a medium-budget movie. 2 stars out of 5. It's not, it's not Casablanca, obviously. But it's also not Triple X with Vin Diesel. You know what I mean? Like, it's somewhere in between. There's maybe 1 or 2 good gags, and they're all spoiled by the trailer.
Yeah.
It's a C movie. It's not even a B movie.
Speaking of bad video game movies, it's just the Minecraft trailer. Like,
ooh, I'm taking psychic damage every time I think about it. But yes, Jack
it's bad.
Black.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like, that's the one thing that people in Gaza have on us. And I keep coming back to this. They don't have to. They just have to worry about survival and not this being offended by art and capitalist media.
I'll still take the being offended by art and capitalist media.
Our treat culture, our treat-based economy.
Yeah, don't get me started. Red Letter Media did just put out a great video called "What Are Next," where it's like 8 minutes of them going like remakes and they go through the entire slate of movies coming up for the next year and talking about things that are bad that are upcoming, and they're all based on something else. Now, that argument, of course, doesn't always work on me because I remember when, Frankenstein was a book. So,
But well, look, yeah.
So, don't recommend. Highly do not recommend.
Sounds like shit.
Don't bother.
Sounds bad. Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know, did you put your kids through this?
It was his idea. He's the Borderlands fan amongst us.
He's not gonna make it.
Well, look, he's 14.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
We all had shit taste at 14. When I was 14, my favorite movie was The Crow, okay? All right?
Well, when I was 14, my favorite movie was A Clockwork Orange.
See? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Not everyone had the leg up I did.
Exactly.
Of trauma and not present parenting.
Now, granted, when I was 12, my favorite movie was Terminator 2, so it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
You can't really, Well, I think that's a good place to leave it if you do.
Let's unfuck this chicken.
Not possible. So, Brian, if you're going to tell people where to find you on the internet, where would you tell them?
Oh, gosh. Well, you can find me as iShotGuidibord, ISHOTGUIDBORD. On Twitter, I am on Instagram as a music photographer. And speaking of a music photographer, if you want to check out my photography portfolio, you can go over to Asshole Music Photographer. And if you want to check out a website that still doesn't work, because guess who has no fucking free time?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But it's still amusicphotographer.com.
It's still amusicphotographer.com. You can go over to the Arts STL, which is the last and only good music website, media website in general in St. Louis. And you can check out some really great photos of Cage the Elephant and Young the Giant, a show that I did myself and a bunch of, apparently everyone else didn't get the photograph except for 5 people.
Okay.
I told this story last
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like how we all got offered, invited to shoot, and then oh, we can't accommodate.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not going to shoot anything you send me you asked me to shoot for a while. Anyways, but I think it was Laura Jarrell.
Oh, okay.
She got some really great photos of that show. So she kept the fire going. She held the flame. The quote, the road.
Mm-hmm.
My King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard piece went up a couple days ago.
Nice.
I don't think it's very good, but the photos are great.
You say that about everything you write, so I don't know about that.
This one's rough. It is very much, I went to the park, I saw a dog, and then I got hungry, so I went and bought a hot dog from the man, and then I took out my BB gun and said, what a great day for a parade, and started pointing it at children and making pee-pee pow sounds with my mouth.
Well, I want to read it even more now. Well, if you're looking for me on the internet, you can find me at various places under the name Video Crime, VIDEOCRIME. Chances are, if there's a video crime, that's going to be me. You can also find me as part of a podcast that's not this one, called Submitted for the Approval of the Midnight Pals. There, I play a fictionalized version of Stephen King, Season 2's coming very, very soon. That's midnight.
Yeah, baby.
midnight-pals.simplecast.com or wherever your fine podcasts are sold. You can reach the show in a myriad of ways.
This damn podcast. This podcast is called Being an Asshole.
I've been trying to get Robin to work that into an episode. I haven't got him there yet, but one of these days, this machine called me an asshole.
One of my favorite line deliveries.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's Maximum Overdrive, right?
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Also one of the few movies I will never skip reading any trivia or any like cast interviews about if they pop up on social media. Like,
yes.
yeah.
Please tell me about the guy who played the baseball kid in the one scene. Yeah.
The Monster Vision guy has only ever seen like the. No, it was George Romero.
Okay.
But the story is told by the
Joe Bob
Monster
Briggs.
Vision guy about how, there's a cut of it that's so fucking gory that upset George Romero.
Well, if you want to tell us all about that, you can send us an email, Jason at 48minutesdogsbarking.com or Brian with a Y at 48minutesdogsbarking.com, or give us a call, 314-246-9766. That's 314-AHOY POO if you like to spell with your telephone. Support the show, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. There you will find our weekly post-show hangout that we like to call Thanks, I Hate It, as well as some other experimental weirdness like the Mind Zone. And of course, if you are one of the 10 members of the $10 level, you'll get yourself the 90-minute commentary track for the Garo Monster Home Delivery, the Japanese puke fetish video. The year is coming to a close, Brian.
Folks, get in there.
Yes, because we're closing this off. For those of you who are in there, congratulations, thank you. For those of you who want to get in there, you have until the end of the year. Because after that, I'm not offering this to anybody. This is it.
The puke boat has sailed.
Exactly right. So get in there, patreon.com/48minutesdogs. Get yourself on to that. And that about does it for the program. My name's Jason.
Can't believe
This
it.
is Brian. We thank you very much for continuing to listen to the show.
Keep it slick and pissy out there, folks.